And Nancy Cortez joins us now in Las Vegas. Nancy, this latest email batch that was released, what was the most surprising thing about that first cut VP list?
Well, first of all, how large it was, Christine. They started out with almost 40 names. And I was also surprised by how many business leaders were on that list, since we didn't really hear about a lot of these leaders during the vetting process. People like Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, Michael Bloomberg, who briefly considered running for president himself. It shows that she was casting a much wider net than people believed at the time. And it sort of proves a lot of doubters wrong, people who thought that perhaps she had Tim Kaine in mind from the beginning.
Do you feel as though, or has there been any talk that these emails will come up at tomorrow's debate?
Well, the Clinton campaign is frankly hoping that they do, Christine, which seems a little counterintuitive because there have been so many emails that have been embarrassing for them, getting out there in the public, showing the inner workings of their campaign. But campaign aides said today that Hillary Clinton really wants a chance to talk on that debate stage in front of millions of people about the disturbing role that she says Russia is playing in this election. As you know, the FBI suspects Russia was behind some of these hackings at Democratic groups, and so she wants to make the case that Russia has been playing a very disturbing role, and that Donald Trump has been saying some very disturbing things that seem pro-Russian to her.
With the lingering email cloud over her campaign, though, Nancy, you did mention that she's going to be pouring in a significant amount of money into traditionally red states. What are they hoping to get out of that?
Well, first of all, they want to force Donald Trump to have to spend some of his resources in places that a Republican normally wouldn't have to, like Arizona. He now has to defend more turf. Beyond that, they're just sort of laying the groundwork for the possibility of a landslide where suddenly, it wouldn't just be the battleground states where this race was playing out, but perhaps in some of those borderline red states like Arizona, like Georgia, like Missouri. They don't really believe at the end of the day that she'll necessarily win states like Missouri and Indiana, but if she becomes president, it certainly helps her if there are more Democrats in the House and the Senate. And since she's got a lot of money, a huge campaign war chest at this point, her campaign has decided to start putting money into some of those down ballot races, because there are a handful of Senate races that are really going to decide, Christine, who controls the Senate.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that. That's a major point for sure. Nancy, with a 9-point lead going into this debate, what's the game plan for the Clinton campaign?
The game plan is play it safe. Don't do more interviews than you need to. Don't do more events than you need to, because everything is an opportunity to make a mistake. That's why you see her spending 6 straight days off the campaign trail to prepare for tomorrow night's debate. They really believe that if she can finish strong in the third debate and keep her cool in the face of what's bound to be a very unpredictable scenario if the past 2 debates are any guide, then they feel like she'll be in a very strong position heading into November. Beyond that, it's been a few weeks now since she did any interviews with members of the press. The last time she sat down for an interview was with Ellen last week, an interview that she knew would be quite friendly to her. So, this is not uncommon in sports or in politics. When you're ahead, the last thing you want to do is have an unforced error, so you try to take as few risks as possible.
Nancy Cortez in Las Vegas for us. Nancy, we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thanks, Christine.